certainly a privilege to be here today. Sheldon Calvary Camp has been in existence for 82 years. And we, in fact, have been one of the branches of the diocese, a place in which young people come to visit us every summer to experience many different things. The camp was initially started to get young people out of the city, to come to a place of tremendous natural surrounding. Calvary Camp is located on Lake Erie in northeast Ohio, about 2 hours from us. So while it's been there 82 years, that's significant. And while this summer we'll see about 1,000 campers or more, what's most significant about camp is that it's really important for every single young person who comes to us. And that we want to make sure we touch and engage the lives of those little lives, those precious folks who come and spend a week with us. And that is you. And, I'm reminded of a lot of stories in my growing up. And sometimes we learn things from different cultures. Cultures have a lot to teach us. For example, in America, how does one obtain a position of leadership? What happens to if they get voted in? Yeah, there's a vote. And oftentimes, the person who gets the most votes is effectively the leader of an organization, of a country, or so forth. But in Native American culture, I'm reminded of a story of how leadership happened just a little differently. And in fact, in Native American culture, the chief of the tribe would often decide who the next leader might be. And oftentimes they would go through a series of challenges or honor games. And I remember one story in which the chief of the tribe sent 3 braves out who were in line for some kind of leadership with their particular tribe and said, "I'd like you to go find the most beautiful thing that you can find." And so these 3 braves went out to look around. One brave came back very quickly and had a beautiful flower. This was a magnificent flower, a paintbrush, I believe, that looked like fire on a stem. Beautiful orange and red, and just an amazingly beautiful piece of nature. The second brave didn't come back so fast. After several hours, they had about 24 hours to work, and the other one came back with a rock. And on this rock was this beautiful rainbow, all these beautiful colors thrown together on this beautiful rock. And they were really getting nervous about the third brave, who was, they thought, seemingly might be lost. Didn't arrive, it's getting dark, they're getting nervous, getting worried, and the brave returned. And that brave was empty-handed. And the chief was confused. Well, I thought my task was to go out and find something in nature that was beautiful. And the brave said to the chief, "Well, I couldn't find something. But right before I came back, I was sitting on the bluff overlooking this lake, and I saw this sunset that was painting these beautiful clouds across the sky. And I just couldn't get the image or that experience out of my mind." And the chief was really struck by that, because it really challenged him to think of the limitations of his own challenge. That maybe things aren't that important, but that maybe memories, experiences, and images are exactly what life is all about. So I'll just let you imagine who the chief might have selected in terms of those braves who might have led the tribe going forward. But experiences are an important thing to give ourselves. Lake Erie, they say, has the 3rd most beautiful sunsets in the world. So we are in a position of a tremendous natural beauty. And so, but I think what's most important about that story for me is these memories and experiences. And is there anyone here close to the age of 10? Anyone close? Yeah. You're 10. Okay. I was 10 once. A while ago. Yeah? Well, at 10, I kind of stumbled upon Calvary Camp. It was a very strange place to me. I lived out in the country where if you looked out my windows of my house, you didn't see another house for miles and miles away. I wasn't around a lot of people. So I stumbled upon camp as an accident when I was 10, not imagining what I might learn at camp or being around lots of people. I mean, I only knew school. But I got to camp, an Episcopal camp, your camp, a camp in this particular diocese. And I remember one day playing a simple game simple game of football. You guys play games, any sports, do different things like that? Maybe you're doing different things that keep you active and busy. We have what's called morning competition, and I was out with all the other kids playing, and I was the oldest on the team of younger kids. I was kind of, at 10, the big kid on the team. So we were playing a little game of football. I was the quarterback. Sometimes the quarterback is thought of as the leader. I remember this game specifically that day, and a kid named Brendan, a boy named Brendan, who really liked me and I think looked up to me. He was 8, and so you have a chance to be a role model at camp, and so I think I was his role model, maybe. It seemed that way. And we were playing this little game of football, and it was at the end of the game. The game's, the other team's up by a point, a few seconds left, and I'm the quarterback. I get to make some decisions. Brendan goes out for a pass. I'm looking at him. He's calling my name. He's waving at me, and he's saying, I'm open. Hey, come on, pass me the ball. I'm looking at Brendan. I keep looking at Brendan. Like, what was I thinking, do you think? I didn't want to give it. I didn't want to pass Brendan the ball. Why didn't I want to pass Brendan the ball? Because I wanted to win, and maybe I didn't think he was going to catch the ball. So here's Brendan, this young boy who really looked up to me. He's out there. He's wide open. There's no one else around. I can make this decision to pass Brendan the ball. And I didn't. At the age of 10, I passed it to someone else who dropped the ball. So after the game, here's little Brendan, who looked up to me that whole time, and he's crying. He's weeping. He's sobbing. And I said, Brendan, and he wouldn't even talk to me after the game. Like, wow. Like, what just happened there? At the age of 10, I'm thinking this, right? I'm thinking things at the age of 10. Brendan really changed me to think about life a little differently, and the idea that including others and giving others a chance to trust was really an important life lesson. I kid you not, I remember exactly what Brendan looked like. I don't think I could pick him up a crowd now. But I remember that experience. I remember what it felt like when someone really wanted to be trusted and given the opportunity to be loved and cared for. They were wide open, and I ignored that call. I ignored that invitation. So it sticks with me. It sticks with me to this day. And I think that's one of the neat things about camp, is that when you live out your faith at camp, when you really work on learning how to care for people, to love people, and to share with people, that becomes a really important experience. Now, being at camp is not fancy. We have pretty simple cabins. You walk into the cabin, there are 5 bunk beds. There are some shelves, and there's a light and a fan. On those hot days, there's a fan. But it's simple, and sometimes it's not easy to live with other people, but it's an important thing to learn. And sometimes the meals aren't exactly what you want. Sometimes you might get a meal that's not exactly what you thought it was going to be. And sometimes at meals, we sit and we share. We sit as a family at all of our meals, and we make the decision to share those meals and to learn how to pass things around. So I guess my point to all of you would be, camp to this day continues to be that place where when we can walk into it, we have things that we can learn, things that God wants us to know about ourselves and wants to challenge us to learn about ourselves. And that's an exciting thing. So while we learn a lot in church, camp is that branch, that extension of church, away from church, that helps us live out the things we're practicing, the things we're learning, the things that we're being taught. And it's a really neat place. And so I want to give the invitation not only to this parish, but to all of you who are sitting here today, to imagine what camp might be like for you someday. To imagine what it might be like to go to a place that's different, that's a little far away, that's surrounded by beauty, that is surrounded by different kinds of challenges, that will allow you to transform and to grow. Many of the kids who come to Calvary Camp at the end of the week say, I feel like I'm my very best self when I'm in this place for the week. And the parents say, couldn't our kids have stayed a couple weeks longer? And they come back, and couldn't the effect of camp just have lasted a little longer? And so we believe strongly in the experience of camp and what it teaches. Camp is not a place where you're going to get a lot of theology or Bible study. It's an active place. It's a place where you're going to live into those ideas of kindness and caring and sharing. And you'll do that through fishing and being on a low ropes course, team building, and through tennis, and through photography, and through fine arts, and through leadership training development, junior counseling, all those things. So certainly an invitation to all of you to think about that as a path for life. I will say, when I was at the age of 10, I didn't imagine there was anything out there different than what I knew for my first 10 years. And when I stumbled upon camp, it changed me. In fact, it changed me so much that it made me imagine that the preservation of that place was incredibly important and that we should preserve it for generations and generations of young people. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep a place that is preserved for young people, intact, healthy, and willing and ready for all of you to join us. So again, today, now I think I'm trying to honor my time limit. I remember, have you ever done an oral report in school yet? A presentation? You guys haven't had those yet? Okay. Well, usually they give you 3 minutes. And I remember the first time, trying to get ready for that. I had written this thing out. I'm like, I'm ready for my oral report. I kind of read it back to my mom. She's like, well, that's 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, I've got a lot of work to do here. But the good news is I was under. So I'm trying to honor that today. And I would like to say that after today's service, I'm going to be here to talk more about camp to help folks learn about it, because we have some exciting things happening. We're not just going to be a summer camp for kids anymore. Part of what we've gone through is some strategic planning and some development that we're going to be a year-round institution that would invite folks from this diocese to come up and visit us even in the winter months. Today I was excited to come down here for the tropical event of being in Pittsburgh and the warm weather. I assure you, you're laughing, but it's snowing at home right now. I'm delighted to be here today. So thank you for having me in this 30-degree weather, but it at least is void of snow. So I'll be here after the service today to share further about the things we're doing at camp to involve the diocese, to involve young people, to grow young people, and to get them ready for the world. That is ultimately what we are after, to help folks go out there and live out. I saw the 4 pieces of mission you have here at the church. I'm quite sure that we mimic and model exactly what you're trying to do at St. Brendan's and want to be involved as integrated and as deeply as we can be in your work going forward. So thank you for allowing me to be with you today. Thank you for the great things you're doing to share with your community in the service this morning. And thank you for being a congregation with vitality and interest in what we do. Thank you very much.